Ever held your credit card in your hand, stared at that tiny metallic square, and wondered what on earth is hiding inside it? It looks simple, almost decorative. But that little gold chip is doing more work in a few milliseconds than entire computers did decades ago. It's the reason your payments are safer today than they were back when we used to swipe and hope for the best. And the truth is, that chip is not just a shiny badge on a piece of plastic. It's a fully functioning microcomputer built to fight fraud, verify identity, and protect your money every time you pay. Today, we're cracking open the secret world inside a credit card chip and uncovering how it silently keeps your transactions secure. Before we look inside the chip, we need to rewind to the era of magnetic stripes. For years, every credit and debit card carried your payment data inside that thin black strip on the back. And it wasn't encrypted. Your card number, expiration date, and security details were stored as static information, like text printed on a cassette tape. Whenever you swiped, the exact same information was transmitted over and over again. That meant if someone scanned your card once using a skimmer, they didn't just steal a copy. They stole the digital equivalent of your identity. They could clone your card, duplicate it onto a blank one, and use it anywhere a swipe was accepted. Fraud exploded. Criminals no longer needed to steal your card, they only needed a fraction of a second's worth of data. So the payments industry changed the game. Enter EMV chips, named after Europay, MasterCard, and Visa, the companies that created the global standard. But these chips weren't designed as a cosmetic upgrade or a futuristic gimmick. They were built to solve a massive security problem. Instead of just storing your information, they process it. And that one shift transformed credit cards from static ID tags into tiny self-contained security computers. So what's actually hiding inside that little square embedded in your card? Imagine shrinking a small computer down to the size of a grain of rice and sealing it inside plastic. That's your chip. Inside is a microprocessor, the brain of the card, responsible for executing cryptographic operations and decision-making during a transaction. Alongside it is secure memory. This is where key pieces of card data are stored. But unlike the magnetic stripe, this data is protected, encrypted, and isolated from tampering. The chip also contains a lightweight operating system, a specialized program that runs the instructions needed to authenticate payments. And at the heart of it all is a cryptographic engine. This is the component that generates unique digital signatures, also called cryptograms, for every transaction. It doesn't just hold information. It calculates, verifies, and defends in real time. Now let's walk through what actually happens when you insert a chip card into a terminal. First, the terminal powers the chip using the metallic contacts on the front of the card. The chip activates and initiates a handshake with the reader, like two computers introducing themselves. The terminal asks the card to prove that it's real and not a counterfeit. This is where authentication begins. The chip uses secret digital keys and certificates to verify its identity. These keys are never exposed. Not to the merchant, not to the terminal, not even to you. They remain sealed inside secure hardware, ensuring the card cannot be cloned. Then something brilliant happens. Instead of sending your real card number like the old magnetic stripe, the chip generates a one-time transaction code. This cryptogram is unique, a digital fingerprint that exists only for that specific payment. Even if someone somehow intercepted that code mid-transaction, it would be completely useless the next time around. They can't replay it. They can't duplicate it. It's like trying to reuse a password that self-destructs after being typed once. After the code is generated, the terminal sends it to your bank along with transaction details like amount, merchant, location, and timestamp. Your bank, which stores its own matching set of security keys, decrypts the data and validates the cryptogram. If the chip's one-time code matches what the bank expects, the payment is approved. If anything looks suspicious, wrong format, mismatched keys, strange terminal behavior, the bank rejects it instantly. All of this unfolds in a fraction of a second, quietly happening behind the scenes while you're waiting for the screen to say, approved. So why is this so much more secure than swiping? The key difference is movement, static versus dynamic data. Magnetic stripes transmit the same data every time, making them easy to copy. Chip cards generate new encrypted data for every transaction. There is no reusable information to steal. The card number isn't transmitted in open form, and the chip never reveals its private cryptographic keys. On top of that, many chips include tamper-resistant hardware features. If someone tries to drill into the chip, probe it, or manipulate its circuitry, it can lock itself or wipe sensitive memory. Some chips are even designed to detect abnormal voltage or temperature changes, tricks commonly used in hacking attempts, and shut down immediately. In other words, the chip isn't just recording information, it is defending itself. But what about contactless payments? The tap-to-pay feature many cards now use. That works through NFC, near-field communication, which allows the chip to communicate wirelessly with a terminal over a very short distance, usually just a few centimeters. The process is almost identical to inserting the chip, but faster. When you tap your card, the chip still generates a one-time cryptographic code. The terminal still sends it to the bank. The bank still verifies it using secure keys. The only difference is that the information travels over radio waves instead of metal contacts. Despite the myths, tap payments are not easier to steal. They use the same dynamic encryption, limited communication range, and transaction verification as normal chip inserts, just with less friction and speed that feels almost magical. It's easy to assume all the security lies inside the card itself, but the real heavyweight in this process is the banking and network infrastructure supporting it. When your card generates that one-time cryptogram, your bank has to decrypt it, analyze it, run fraud checks, and send a decision back in milliseconds. Behind the counter, powerful servers and risk engines evaluate patterns, purchase history, location, spending behavior, merchant reputation, and time of day. The card network, whether Visa, MasterCard, or another, acts like a digital highway, routing encrypted payment data between the store, the processor, and your bank. Every approved transaction is the result of dozens of verification steps, quietly happening in parallel. You may have also noticed that sometimes you're asked to sign after inserting your card, and other times you're asked to enter a PIN. Both systems use the chip, but they authenticate the cardholder differently. With chip and signature, your identity is verified through a written signature, which is often only casually checked. With chip and PIN, you must enter a personal identification number, a form of two-factor verification. The card verifies that the PIN you entered matches the encrypted one stored inside the chip. In many regions around the world, chip and PIN is the standard because it's more secure and harder to forge. In others, like the United States, chip and signature persists mainly for compatibility and convenience, though PIN adoption continues to grow. And credit card chips aren't done evolving yet. Some next-generation cards now include biometric authentication, such as tiny fingerprint sensors built directly into the card body. Instead of typing a PIN, your fingerprint unlocks the chip's cryptographic functions, allowing the transaction to proceed only when you're physically holding the card. Other cards are using dynamic security codes, where the 3-digit number on the back is displayed on a miniature electronic ink screen and refreshes every few hours. This adds another layer of protection for online purchases, where chips aren't used directly. Meanwhile, digital wallets and mobile payments are extending chip-style security into smartphones and wearable devices, blending hardware encryption with virtual card tokens that never expose the real account number at all. We're slowly moving toward a world where your physical card, your phone, and your digital identity all communicate with the same cryptographic ecosystem, making transactions faster, safer, and increasingly invisible. So the next time you tap or insert your card at a checkout terminal, remember that inside that tiny gold square is a miniature fortress of silicon and code. It's performing complex math, authenticating identities, and generating one-time keys, all while you stand there waiting for your receipt. What looks like a simple piece of plastic is actually a secure computer working non-stop to protect your money in the blink of an eye. The chip may be small, but the technology behind it is enormous. Thanks for watching. If you've got an idea for a future episode, something tiny, ordinary, or overlooked that you'd love to see explored, drop it in the comments below. We might feature your suggestion in an upcoming video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories hidden inside the everyday objects we use without realizing how extraordinary they really are.